So what is a tag restriction? A tag restriction is the ability to publish applications from an application group that references a single shared delivery group or multiple shared delivery groups and considering only a subset of the machines in the selected delivery groups. This is possible because application groups can now specify tags that themselves have been assigned to machines, regardless of which delivery group they belong to. Tag restrictions can also be applied to delivery groups, allowing the launching of desktops considering only a subset of the machines in the delivery group. A tag restriction can be thought of as subdividing or the partitioning of the machines in a delivery group. With tag restrictions, you can use your existing machines for more than one publishing task, saving the costs associated with deploying and managing additional machines. Let's illustrate how using tag restrictions operate on delivery groups and application groups. We start with three machines, VDA 101, VDA 102, and VDA 103. We've created two tags, orange and red, and applied them to machines as shown in the diagram. Now, for the delivery group, we specify that only machines that have the red tag can be launched. This means that only machines VDA 101 and 102 can be launched as a desktop for users assigned to this delivery group. What we have done is to apply a tag restriction to a delivery group. Let's now look at how the new tag restrictions feature is applied to application groups. The application group was created to contain the applications, calculator, and notepad. We now apply the orange tag to this application group, thus creating a tag restriction. So each of its applications, calculator and notepad, can be launched only on machines in that delivery group that have an orange tag. That's VDA 102 and VDA 103. This describes a tag restriction on an application group. We can also call this application group tagging. Note that VDA 102 has both tags red and orange, so it can be considered for launching the applications and the desktop. Now let's look at an example that shows how we can deliver more applications with fewer machines than would otherwise be needed if you used only delivery groups. This example uses 10 machines, VDA 101 to 110, one delivery group, DG01, and three application groups, A100, A200, and A300. By applying tags to each machine and then specifying tag restrictions when creating each application group, then accounting users in the group can access the apps they need on 5 machines, VDAs 101 to 105. CAD designers in the group can access the apps they need on 5 machines, VDAs 106 to 110. Users in the group who need Office applications can access the Office apps on 10 machines, VDAs 101 to 110. Only 10 machines are used with only one delivery group. Using delivery groups alone without application group tagging would require twice as many machines because a machine can only belong to one delivery group. Please refer to the Tag Restrictions and Application Group Tagging document in the Additional Resources pane for more detailed information on managing tags and tag restrictions. The tasks of creating, editing, and deleting tags and tag restrictions are performed in Studio. And to reiterate, tag restrictions can be configured for shared delivery groups and application groups. Configuring a tag restriction is a multi-step process. Here we will look at the high-level steps when creating a tag restriction in an application group. Create the tag and then add it to the machines that will be affected by the tag restriction. To add a tag restriction to an application group, create or edit the application group. On the Delivery Groups page, select the option Restrict Launches to Machines with the tag and then select the tag from the drop-down. Here we will look at the high-level steps when creating a tag restriction on a delivery group. First, we'll assume that the task of adding the same tag to identify a specific group of machines has already been performed. In this case, we've added the tag red to a set of high-powered machines in a delivery group. To add a tag restriction to a desktop, create or edit a delivery group as shown in the image. Click Add or Edit on the desktop's page. In the Add Desktop dialog box, select the option Restrict Launches to Machines with the tag, and then select the tag from the drop-down, then click OK. The tag-restricted delivery group is now available to the specified users, and the only machines that will launch are those that have been tagged red. A tag restriction extends the broker's machine selection process. The broker selects a machine from an associated delivery group subject to access policy, configured user lists, zone preference, its launch readiness, plus the tag restriction if it's present. When configuring tag restrictions in application groups where multiple delivery groups are selected, it's possible to set priority values on each delivery group specified. So the broker falls back to other delivery groups in the priority order while applying the same machine selection rules for each considered delivery group. In earlier releases, administrators could create one restart schedule for all the machines in a delivery group using Studio or using PowerShell commandlets. If you wanted to create multiple restart schedules, it meant using multiple delivery groups, as we can see here in the diagram. XenApp and XenDesktop 7.12 introduces a version 2 of the PowerShell restart schedule commandlets. These allow you to now create and manage multiple restart schedules for a single delivery group. Be aware that though single restart schedules for a delivery group is still possible using the Studio interface or by PowerShell commandlets, creating and managing multiple restart schedules for machines in a delivery group is only possible using the version 2 PowerShell restart schedule commandlets. Multiple restart schedules are made possible because of two new XenApp and XenDesktop 7.12 features. The first one we covered when we looked at the new tag restriction feature. If you recall, using tag restrictions, we could create a subset of machines in a delivery group. The second new feature is the Restrict to Tag parameter, which is only available when using the new version 2 PowerShell restart schedule commandlets. In other words, we are now able to apply tag restrictions to restart schedules. In the table we can see the new version 2 restart schedule commandlets together with their previous version counterparts. Please refer to the Multiple Restart Schedules document in the Additional Resources pane to identify considerations and requirements when configuring this feature. UPM enhancement. In this section we will review the enhancement made to UPM. The Active Writeback feature in Citrix User Profile Manager, or UPM, allows for periodic mid-session synchronization, instead of waiting to synchronize the entire profile at user logoff. Up until now, Active Writeback was only available for directories and files. The system registry was not included. New to XenApp and XenDesktop 7.12 is the ability to include session registry changes to Active Writeback. This greatly improves the resiliency and integrity of UPM profile operation. Let's discover how Registry Active Writeback works and how to configure it. Click on each of the cards to find out what you'll learn in this lesson. Click the tab to see how it works. So how does the Registry Active Writeback feature work? Let's say a user launches a desktop session. After UPM logon, the local registry would typically have changes made to it as the session is worked in. With Registry Active Writeback enabled, the UPM service will periodically write those changes to an active copy of the profile store's registry in the pending area. If the user has launched another session, the UPM service in that session will also periodically write the changes made to its local registry to the active copy in the pending area. Be aware though that when a session performs a mid-session Registry Active Writeback, it locks the enter-user.dat in the pending area for 60 seconds. Any other session the user has running will be prevented from performing a mid-session Registry Active Writeback for the duration of the timeout lock. The timeout lock exists to ensure that if the current session restarts or encounters a BSOD, enter-user.dat will be unlocked after the timeout lock. Since the registry changes are performed mid-session, there will be very few, if any, registry changes to commit to the active copy at UPM logoff. And finally, once the user's last session is logged off, the user profile's registry hive enter-user.dat, which has the session changes merged in, is moved from the pending area to the user's profile store. The changes made by UPM on a host machine, typically the VDA, to the active copy of the registry in the pending area only goes one way. And so this behavior is the same as the file folder active writeback. For instance, In the image shown, if a local registry change is made in one session to the active copy of the registry, the other session does not synchronize that change to its local registry. The merged registry changes that are saved once the user has logged off their last session are only available once the user has logged on again. Click the tabs to learn more. The steps for configuring Registry Active Write-Back is very simple. The feature can be configured in Active Directory GPOs, using HDX policies in Studio, or even the INI files used to configure UPM on individual hosts. Here we've shown the configuration requirements in Studio. First, ensure that you've already enabled and configured profile management. Next, enable the Active Write-Back policy. Finally, enable the Active Write-Back Registry policy. Registry Active Write-Back is now configured. The takeaway here is that both policies need to be enabled for Registry Active Write-Back to work, and that neither policy is enabled by default.